need to understand is that the early assembly was not built upon some philosophy or doctrine that came about by Rome. It is clear that the doctrine was built upon what we call the Old Testament or the Tanakh. Isn't that amazing? And it came from the Hebrews. What they call today Christianity came from the Hebrews, and it was not built by any philosophy of Rome, as some would try to tell you in various ways, trying to tell you somebody came up with this thing. That is not true. Right here in the book of Acts, it tells us and shows us clearly that it was built upon the ancient Hebrew Masoretic text. The knowledge of it came from the Old Testament, as we call it today. The things that were written about the Mashiach and the coming of him by the prophets of old. That's where it comes from. And it's amazing how people who want to attack the Bible and don't want to believe in the Mashiach, don't want to believe in Yahushua. A lot of these people, the first thing they do, well, I believe in the Old Testament. Well, I got news for you. The Old Testament is where the doctrine comes from. The Old Testament tells of the coming of the Mashiach. The New Testament just reveals him. The Old Testament conceals him. So if somebody wants to try to reject the New, we can go right back into Old and set them on fire with the Old Testament. You're not going to get away from the Mashiach. He's all through the Old Testament and revealed in the New.